can't hear me. Yes, you can. Okay. Hi, Ultra Friends. Good to see all of you. None of you are here right now, I don't think. If you are here, hi. Awesome to see you. How's your day going? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. So, today, sorry if I'm kinda low energy right now. It has been hectic getting this stream set up, and I am tired. But, that being said, we are going to be playing the original Super Mario Brothers today. Because I, for some reason, have a USB microphone and a USB headset. All 4 of my USB ports are currently being used. So I am currently trying to, so I don't have my normal headset on, that I have this earbud. In case you can't tell, I am just stalling to see if anyone gets here. I don't think anyone's getting here right now. So, Monk! Hey, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So, yeah, we are going to be playing the original Super Mario Brothers today. So, my stream volume is low. What do you mean? As in my mic, or as in you're having a hard time hearing my voice, or as in you're having a hard time hearing my background music? Although, on that note, I do need to get audio input capture in the new source. Okay, yeah. Can you... can you hear me alright? Okay. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but Streamlabs is telling me it's fine currently, so I am just going to take it at its word. Alright, so let's turn off that, switch scenes. I want to actually be able to enjoy the game, so turn off studio mode. Now, let us just, Senor Beast. Hola, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Controller, why are you being weird? Oh, this game weird. This game kinda stupid. Where is the background music? Okay, so you should be able to hear it because of my Elgato sending the music directly. However, I cannot hear any of the background music. No, I do not have Fortnite. I played on the Switch, played 2 rounds, found I hated it, then stopped. Okay, going back to just chatting now, because I cannot hear my background music in the slightest. So, okay, yeah, turning studio mode back on, and then I'm just going to be doing the, I had been hoping to not have to do it this way, but I'm going to mute the Elgato audio, and then, let's just transition slides. Okay, y'all in chat, you're gonna have to let me know, can you hear this alright? Okay, so I still cannot hear the game audio. Okay. Sorry, I don't know what's going on, but my system, but my Switch is fully not sending any, uh, is, okay, technical difficulties. Sorry about this. Okay, let's try opening up Elgato's sound couch. I have no idea if that's going to do literally anything, but okay, so that didn't seem to do anything. And now my capture card software is failing me. Why are you like this, Elgato? I was just trying to have a decent stream. Why are you being stupid? Okay. Yeah, sorry about this. No, I promise. Game capture is not currently running, Elgato. Again, why art thou like this? Okay, so I am going to move to a BRB screen, because I don't know what's going on. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but it sounded like it's working. Yep, okay. The audio is working now. I fully have no idea what happened there. Sorry about that, everyone. Quickly open the suspend menu so I can turn studio mode back off, and I can actually enjoy playing this game. I have no idea how to do that first. Do that first flagpole, honestly. Alright, I'm just gonna check. You're not hearing desktop audio. So I'm gonna turn Elgato back on. Okay. If there's anyone hearing this currently, you're gonna have to tell me if you can hear the game at all. God damn it. Venom. I have no idea what the denim name came from. There are no sound effects in this game that sound much like that at all. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay, so. Alright. Mushroom moves. Alright. Okay. Now. There we go. That's what I meant. There we go. Now we're in it, fam. Those words should not have come out of my mouth in that order. That feels like the Miles Morales thing of, no one my age says those words in that order. Or, the time in my carpentry class, yes, I'm in carpentry. I know it doesn't seem like a nerd like me should be taking a shop class, but, I don't care. Am I? Yeah, I thought I was inside the pipe because of where my camera moved to. Okay. Okay. Carpentry 4th block? No, 3rd block. So I'm not sure why you said that, but no, that is not when I have carpentry. No, Senor Beast, I still don't have Fortnite. I told you that when you asked the first time. I downloaded it once. No, I do not know anyone named Dane. And I also... No, I do not have Fortnite. My sound is too high. Okay, you said was. Okay, I do have Minecraft, I've played it before. Yes, I saw your comment, no, I'm not gonna play with you. Okay, but my sound was too high. Is my audio good now, though? Because I have no way of really knowing. Okay. Yeah. I can't really tell if my audio's too high or not. Should I turn down my music? Okay. There we go. Alright. One of these, I think, is gonna be a star. God damn it. The thing is, obviously, this first level is not all that difficult, but when I'm trying to play it while also... When I'm trying to play it... When I'm trying to play it while also... multitasking, and I've never played this game before. Well, okay, no, that's not true. When Switch Online came out, I played it a tiny bit, but only a tiny bit. So, none of the stuff that I have normally is working all that well. I lost a life on literally the first jump of the game. I'm not doing that. Okay. Gotta be. Alright. They're both just coins. I always hope that I can get, like, a 1-up or something, because lives may be outdated in the, hey, Goober! Oh, god damn it. Well, you can only stick around for a little while, but, well, I hope you're doing well as well, Goober. Yeah. Goober, I hope you are doing well as well. I had things that I was planning to say on this stream, and then I completely forgot all of them. But, I do want to talk about NES difficulty. Because people talk, like, a lot about, people talk a lot about how, like, about the concept of NES hard, and how apparently NES games were really difficult. And while I will say this game's controls are very slippery, that is a level of difficulty that comes from, bad game design. And the bad game design that is not actual difficulty, that is artificial difficulty, and lives are the same thing. The reason people think NES games are hard is because NES games have a crushing system of lives, that is incredibly hard, that makes it incredibly difficult to get more lives, as well as being incredibly difficult to do. Being incredibly difficult to do. Okay, actually, I can kind of see where the denim thing came from. Sorry, Goober, you weren't here for it, but earlier in the stream, I made a comment about how I don't understand the denim. Okay. Either, B or X. Alright. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so NES games have a reputation for being really hard. But most NES games are actually only super hard because they have a crushing system of lives that sends you all the way back to the beginning most of the time if you... because they were built around the arcade era. And in the arcade era, it was custom to make games incredibly difficult so that people would keep putting their quarters into them. So you had a crushing system of lives. Yes, I know about the warp zone. No, I'm not going to go for it because I want to actually, you know, get good. I want to be able to play the video game. Well, because the better I am at actually playing the game, the easier it'll be going forward. I don't want to jump straight from 1-2. I don't want to jump straight from World 1-2 all the way. Yeah, immediately all the way to like, yeah. Oh shit. I don't want to jump from World 1-2 all the way to like World 4 as the warp zone would do, because then I'm not gonna actually improve. And what makes these games work is trying to improve. T260G. Yes, yes, this is my first time playing the original Super Mario Brothers, and honestly, it is more difficult than I was expecting. Like, I was literally just having, it's not, like, real good game design difficulty, it's, wow, these controls are slippery difficulty, but still. It is significantly tougher than I realized. But yes, this is my first time playing. This was your first video game. Wow! You are significantly older than me, my friend. Funnily enough, you were just playing this 10 minutes ago. Ah! Cool! Well, do you have any fun stories from your time playing this game as a kid? Well, I assume as a kid. I assume you weren't already an adult when you got it, if you're watching my stuff. Well, but do you have any fun memories of playing this game way back when? Because I will say, okay, I'm enjoying it. Like I said, harder than I expected. Oh, you have decades of stories. Awesome. Let me think. For Mario Bros. 1. Well, I'm interested to hear what you think of, but yeah, as I was saying, NES games get a reputation for being hard, and most of them, it's artificial difficulty from lives. In this game, it's artificial difficulty from incredibly slippery controls, Jesus Christ. You'd highly recommend either 3 or World. Those are both on my list for after this one, but I figured I'm gonna start all the way back at the beginning. So, my order for the games that I do in this series of streams, the Switch Kid Goes Retro, is I am going to So, I'm going to play, I'm gonna play Mario Bros. 1 for a while. I don't necessarily know if I'll beat it, but I'll just go until I feel like I've gotten the full experience from it. And then I'm gonna play 3. Then I'm going to move to some other NES games. I'm gonna play Punch-Out. That might be it. Then I'm gonna either go to the Sega Genesis and play some classic Sonic, or I'm gonna go to the SNES and play Super Metroid and Super Mario World. And then I will readjust from there. Okay. Yeah, so I say this is my first time playing the game. That is not quite accurate. I played this a little bit when Switch Online first came out. Just because I was like, oh cool, I finally have a legal way of playing this game. Awesome. So I checked it out. But I didn't get very far. So I consider this to be my first real time playing. And I have also played a little bit of 3 and a little bit of World, but again, not very much in either case. Hey, we're at Bowser's Castle. Oh crap. Ooh. Okay, so that is something that they changed in later games. I did not realize that originally you lost all of your power-ups at once. Well, yeah, I didn't realize that you lost all of your power-ups at the same time when you got hit in this game. That is an interesting quirk that I am extremely glad they got rid of in the, yeah, that's an interesting quirk that I'm extremely glad they got rid of in later games, like, well, in later games in general. I was going to say, like Wonder, because that's the one I currently have on the brain, as it's the one that people have been talking about. It's not nearly as, like, okay, Mario games have never been my thing, especially 2D Mario games. They just haven't. Mario games are not my thing. Yeah. It's like what you were saying before with the artificial difficulty. Apparently they keep Lose Everything mechanic in Japanese version. It's sure modern, but, I'm not sure. That makes a lot more sense. You're not sure about modern, but, but, yeah, that is definitely another layer, like the movement and like the lives, that is another, like, artificial difficulty thing that, that they got rid of in later games, because they wanted the games to actually be satisfying and enjoyable to play. And that, I'm so glad that lives are gone in the, I'm so glad that lives are gone in the modern, I'm so glad lives are gone in the modern system. Well, I don't know if they're gone in Wonder, but, okay, like I said, 2D Mario, not my thing, but at least in modern 3D Mario, like in Odyssey, yes, Japanese Mario 2, yeah, I have definitely heard about Japanese Super Mario Bros. 2, American Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. I have heard about the intense difficulty of that game, and that is why Lost Levels is not on my list. Because, heck no. Like, you don't blame me. Yeah. Like, this series is not intended to give me a rundown of, like, every single classic game people like, or anything. It is oh, crap. This series is intended to give me an overview of all the classic games that people say I'm missing out on for not having played. Do you know Yes, I mentioned this before you were here, T2. I'm gonna call you T2 because I don't know what else to call you. Yes, I am aware of the world skips. However, I don't want to use them because I'm aware of the warp zones, but I don't want to work with them because yeah, I know about the warp zones, but I don't want to use the warp zones because they will... your name is based on a Squaresoft character. Ian. Okay, in that case, I'm just gonna call you Ian. What character? The name doesn't sound familiar, I'll admit. Okay, but... yeah, so... yeah. Ian, the reason I'm not using the warp zones is because I want to just, like, actually get better at the game, you know, training montage and everything. So, and you're not gonna get better at the games. Oh, crap. Okay. He is a mech character in the game. It works like Sonic Adventure, made by Squares. Huh. Chrono Trigger. God, I've tried to play Chrono Trigger like 3 times at this point. But I can just, yeah, I'm not using save states, because, okay, the first time I played this, back when Switch Online came out, I did use save states, but the thing is, save states, I like using save states for when games are stupid about when they let you save. Like you mentioned Chrono Trigger, all of those classic RPGs that use, like, all the classic RPGs that use, you can only save at these specific save points, I have absolutely no issues using save states there because that's stupid. It's just a hardware limitation thing. But this game, and all these games like it, were very specifically designed to be played without being able to save. If you die, you go back to the beginning. So, that leads to you getting better and better. And, so I'm trying to do the same thing, hence, as well, why I'm not working with save states. Hence why I'm not using save states, and hence why I'm not going into the warp zones. I want to actually get better, not just cheat my way through, because then, if I just cheat my way through, and then I get to World 8, if I cheat my way through all the way to World 8, and then suddenly I'm dealing with an actually difficult level, and still have no idea what I'm doing, that would not be good. So instead, I am playing this game how it was originally meant to be played by people who didn't know about the warp zones. Hydrate or dihydrate. In educational psychology, we call this scaffolding. Essentially, when learning something, it's presented in increasingly difficult... Huh. I've never heard it called that specifically, but, I mean, yeah, I absolutely know what you're talking about. I mean, most video games do that. I think that the first level of Shovel Knight, if you've played that, is a really good example of this. It starts out with just, you dig, and then it, you understand it naturally. I mean, thank you! You're definitely intelligent, he says. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, because Ian's a masculine name, I'm gonna stick with he unless you tell me otherwise. You're definitely intelligent, he says, promptly before the person he's talking to, just falls into a super easy to avoid bottomless pit. But, yeah, like I said, I'd never heard it specifically called scaffolding before, although that does make sense. I've never heard it called scaffolding before. Oh, yeah, then that makes sense for it. I just hadn't understood that. But, like, yeah, then that is just a concept that, like, I've seen plenty of game design analysis point this out. And I remember, actually, one time, I was just thinking, because I have a really hard time teaching myself new things. I need someone to be teaching it to me, or else I'm not going to glean the information. So one time when I was trying to figure it out, I basically just backdoored my way into figuring out that exact thing, just because I came to the realization that the public education system of how it teaches you things is very similar to how most well-designed video games teach you things. Introduce a simple concept in a safe environment, and then gradually make it more complicated once you understand the basic version of it. So yeah, I did just fully backdoor my way into figuring that out one time. And then I've come this close to making a video about it several times, actually. But then, just for one reason or another, I don't, because I'm just like, with my approach to video making and everything, it just wouldn't be all that great for me. I don't think I could make a very good video about it. I had the same difficulty with learning. Off the top of my head, I think Albert Bandura came up with it. I have a bachelor's in psychology, so I know, look, there are worse things to have a large amount of useless knowledge about than how our brains work. And, yeah, I cannot say that the name Albert Bandura... Oh, crap. Yeah, I can't say... Banana! Yo! Welcome to the stream! I was just having a really interesting conversation with Ian here about the idea of... you're in Santa Monica. Awesome! I hope you're enjoying it, Banana. Yeah, I was having a really interesting conversation with Ian here about concept in psychology that I had never heard called this, but I definitely knew about the idea called scaffolding, which is, well, frankly, it's how most video games are designed. You start by introducing a simple concept, and then gradually add more and more difficult, but still easy to digest additions to it. Now, I'm on level 4. on level 4, while still, well, only being on 1 life. I never want to be this low on lives when I get to World 4. I always want to have all 3, so I have wiggle room. I'm probably not making it to World 2 on this attempt. Yeah, I'm not making it to World 2 on this attempt. But this is the whole thing with this is the whole thing with this is the whole thing with what we've been talking about with scaffolding. Because I am actually playing this game legitimately, I'm not using save states, and I'm not using save states for this game, and I'm not using warp zones. I'm actually gaining the new information that I'm supposed to be gaining. I am already significantly better at this game than I was when I started it, like 45 minutes ago. Yes, I know the stream has been going for 50 minutes, but a lot of that was, but a large section of that was troubleshooting, so probably close to 30 minutes ago, but whatever. Yesterday I was in Super Nintendo World. Okay, that's that is hilarious, Banana. Yeah, the conversation is really cool for me. Imagine it. May 18th, 1988. My grandmother gets our family Nintendo. I used to be... Yeah, I can imagine that. I have never had... Yeah, now I get to watch the new generation play it, far into the future. For me, it's good. Yeah, like, there are some ways in which modern technology has definitely made the world worse, but the ability to live stream stuff like this, so that someone like you, who grew up with this game back in the late 80s and early 90s, can watch me, someone who didn't get a chance to grow up with this game because I was born in the late 2000s, and Super Mario Kart Attraction, awesome. I want to go to Super Nintendo World. I do. That sounds awesome. I also want to go to Disney World. Both of those, very, very expensive. Not things that I can just do easily for my vacation this year. But, yeah, so... But, yeah, there are some ways, you graduated high school in 03. I saw both Mario movies in theaters. Yeah, definitely, you have to be careful with money, because Disney World and Universal and all theme parks, really, are very expensive. So, yeah, okay, I promise, if you finished high school in 03, you finished when you're 18, so, 20 years, so, you'd be in your, you'd be in your early 30s now. Trust me, you are no crusty old sage. My mom is in her late 50s and my dad is 60. I know what actual crusty old sages are like. It's not even the two of them. They're pastors, and the church we go to, like most churches, at least in this country, is primarily filled with older people. Those people, I'm saying it because I know none of them are going to be watching this, those people are crusty old sages. You grew up in Jersey, it's expensive just to breathe. Yeah, I definitely get that. Okay, so I live in a fairly small town in a pretty rural area, so I don't necessarily have that experience. However, I was born in New York City, and we go on vacation back there every once in a while, and I was recently there, for, from, from, for, and I was recently there for the first time on my own without my parents. It was for a school trip, but I was in charge of my own money, and yeah, wow, everything there really expensive. Like, I had pretty basic meals, so I ended up spending I want to say about $25 on food, and then I bought 4 items at various different gift shops, and I had to go into into debt with one of my friends who had a lot more money because I wasn't gonna be able to afford everything I wanted. So now I owe one of my friends like something in the ballpark of $85. Yeah, 30. Our parents are the same age. Yeah, my parents were pretty old when I came to my parents were already pretty old for first-time parents when I came to exist. And, yeah, for always good. Awesome of you to try and stay in good shape, and, yeah, I don't want to live there, because, as we said, expensive just to breathe and all that. However, I do want to live in an area that is, I want to live in an area that's close enough that I can spend a reasonable amount of time taking trips to New York. God, I love that place. I want to go to the Disney of LA, go to Disneyland Adventure, Toy Story, San Francisco, Cars, and the Principal, Brazilians, karaoke. I don't know what karaoke means. I'm sorry, Banana. But yeah, but yeah, but chances are, if I go to Disney, it'll be Disney World in Florida. Not because I have any interest in going to Florida. It's a Brazilian character from... okay. Notice age absolute, like, back in the 80s, tons of people, Yeah. I know most of my... not all, but most of my friends' parents are significantly younger than my parents. That is just a simple fact that that's just a fact that I've noticed. That is completely fine, Ian. Honestly, this is a live stream. It's always more fun when I have active chatters. So, so the more talkative you are, the better, in my opinion. Can I teach you some Portuguese? Sure, go for it! That's true. Back in the 80s and 90s, from pre-internet, that's true. Back in the 80s and 90s, pre-internet, all be in the same room talking about Mario Bros. Yeah, that is, that sound, I mean, frankly, that's not dissimilar from experiences that I've had with more in elementary school than these days. Partially because less of my friends are gamers now, but also partially just because, it's, these days, if I'm talking to a friend about a video game, it's usually FNAF. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, I've definitely had experiences similar to that in my own life, so I get that. Natal is the word for Christmas. Huh. Interesting. And so, I never played FNAF, but I watched a documentary on it, going over all the lore and whatnot. Yeah, it's really complicated. But if you'd be interested in knowing a little more about it, I have quite a number of FNAF-related videos on this channel, because thanks to the movie and everything, my latent FNAF hyperfixation has been coming back in full force. You were an original Chuck E. Cheese kid? Okay, I absolutely loved Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid. The place is still... Okay, I don't know if still going strong is the right word, but I know it was... God damn it. It was absolutely still very popular and very successful when I was in elementary school, at least. Me and a few of my friends had quite a number of them. Yes, it was the real cool place to be when you were a kid, indeed. Yeah, me, as well as a number of my friends, all had at least one birthday party there. Many of us, we had several. So, I had so much fun in that place. And I am very confident that the only reason I wasn't terrified of it is because I never heard the mascots referred to as animatronics. Because to me, animatronic was FNAF. Yeah, good question, Ian. Yeah, in Spanish, it's Feliz Navidad. I'm guessing it would be something to the effect of Feliz Natal or something, but that is literally just me guessing based on the fact that I know the two languages are quite similar, and it's entirely possible that the word for happy / have a good is the same in both languages. The blinking after you get damaged is another thing that just makes this game infuriating in the artificial difficulty style. Crap, I didn't realize I couldn't jump through the bottom of that thing. Languages are badass, and yeah, languages are cool, though, I will be honest, all of the passion that I once had for actually trying to learn another language has been completely sapped away by the fact that I have attempted to learn Spanish. It has not gone well. I'm currently in Spanish 3 in school. Yeah, it's not going well. It's really not. My current Spanish knowledge is still roughly on par with what it was at the end of Spanish 1, but every time I'm introduced to something new, I'm just like, oh god, Spanish, why are you like this? Why do you have so many forms? Why do you need so many forms? Want one of my old tips? When you first approach Bowser, wait for his jump. Memorize the timing. I usually attempt to jump over him. Huh. So so try to jump over him after he lands from his jump. Got it. Thanks for the heads up. I know one of these early pipes has some kind of shortcut. The only reason I know it's a shortcut and not just access to a bunch of coins is because I know the speedrun technique uses it. And speedrunners don't waste time. There we go. That's okay with languages, scaffolding, plus like anything. Do you know the secret 1-up? I don't believe I do, no. I know a decent number of the secrets in this game, but I certainly don't know all of them. Yeah, seriously, like, every time I learn a new form in Spanish, I'm just like, oh god, Spanish, why are you like this? Spanish, why are you like this? In English, we operate, between the last pipe and the first, between the last pipe and the first ditch. I'll have to see what you're talking about next time I'm back in 1-1, as I'm sure I will be many, many times. But, yeah. Seriously, Spanish. Not only do you have gendered nouns and different forms for, not only do you have gendered nouns and different forms for basically all of your adjectives with them, you also, for every single tense, you have a different form for every possible pronoun. What if every time Mario dies, and you killed him and clones another Mario? Yep, I think all of us have mass murdered Mario at this point. Everyone who's ever played the game and been not very good at it, at least. And that is basically everyone, unless they're coming to this one after having spent a lot of time in the game in other Mario games, because, oh god, I hate how you are completely invisible for that first little bit of time after getting hit. Yeah. No one's very good at anything when they first start. Obviously. That's not how it works. Another hidden 1-up right where I got hit. I don't know where specifically I got hit. Feliz Natal. Yeah, Feliz Natal, yeah, that's what I was expecting, and Papai Noel. In the rightmost brick. I mean, because I'm Small Mario right now, and I can't break them, I don't think I'd be able to get it then. But, well, thanks for the tip. I'll have to come back to that. You're Santa, huh? Well, the other night, I watched you absolutely mass murdering a bunch of people in one of the best Christmas movies I've ever seen, and I've seen Die Hard, so I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly, rather. Violent Night. God, that movie was so much fun. Yes, Violent Night. It came out last year. Yes, so good. Yes, so good. It's so much fun with it. I'm going to Hot Topic to find FNAF stuff. Awesome! Yeah. Peace out, banana. Ooh, I did that section real fast. And, yes, have an awesome night. You're in the US now, so I think it's evening for you, if I recall correctly. If you're in LA, it's like 5 PM for you, but whatever, yeah. You still have Hot Topic stuff from 20 years ago. Wow! Well, I was gonna say currently I can afford to get hit once, and then I fell into a bottomless pit. So... I still have a sizable NES collection as well as SNES and Sega. I'm guessing you mean Sega Genesis. Awesome. I have always kind of wanted to be a video game collector. I can't, but okay. There's an unlimited continue trick. Cool. Also, yeah, yeah, as 90s kid. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. 80s kids rules it's okay to use the unlimited continue trick. Okay. Lets you practice later stages more. Okay. I might know the trick. I gotta Google it though. I think for the moment, I'd rather not. I think for the moment I'd rather not use it. Although, I might... Well... I don't think I want to use it at the moment, although, if I get too annoyed... although if I get too annoyed with this game, I might. Okay, yes. So next time I'm back in 1-1, not gonna bother trying to find the hidden one up. I'm just going to get that first mushroom and then go down the bottom section. Absolutely. Plus, generally, I play the same way. I don't use it so much. Yeah. It's like, my thing with tricks like that is I will use them once I start to get too frustrated playing legit. God damn it! Lost the superstar. I have this random memory okay. Well, let me see if this is... So this was a part of my early childhood, watching it on Netflix. Let me see if this was part of yours as well, watching it originally. Do you remember the Super Mario Brothers Super Show? I've got to be fucking kidding me. My rule has always been this. I beat the game fair and square, then I'll use cheat codes and save states. That is completely fair. For me, I generally want to beat the game, and I generally want to beat the game somehow. Yes, you do remember it. Okay. I have no memory of, like, what episode this was or anything. I just remember one time, Princess Peach... I just remember one time Princess Peach, or Princess Toadstool, she was called in the show. Princess Toadstool gave the bros, yeah, that cartoon was my favorite cartoon ever. Yeah, that takes me back as well. Of course, our experiences of it were obviously very different. For me, it was when Netflix was a new thing. Or at least new to me. I was scrolling. This was during the height of my Mario obsession. I stumbled upon it. I stumbled upon it, and I watched it, and I didn't know that there was a I didn't know that the Zelda cartoon was an actual thing, but I did know that that I always wanted to watch more of it because of the sections that they played at the end. I knew that I wanted to watch more of it. I still occasionally slip and call Peach and Bowser Toadstool and Koopa. Fair enough. You can appreciate my perspective. Alright, yeah. Not going to bother trying to get that fire flower, it's just not worth it. Yeah, yeah. All I knew about the Zelda cartoon was that I learned years after I had stopped having any interest in it whatsoever. Ah, crap. Out of school for the week because it's Friday and I only got to watch my link card. Yeah, yeah, all I knew about it while I was at the stage where I really wanted to watch it was that they played that little advertisement for it at the end of every episode, and I always wanted to watch it, but I didn't realize it was, like, an actual, like, thing. Yes! Okay, we got through World 1! I had to watch all of the Saiyan saga at first. Oh! Yeah, I never watched Dragon Ball or DBZ as a kid. Those were just, those were not part of my zeitgeist. In terms of, like, in terms of, like, in terms of your classic, as in, like, 80s and 90s classic, not as in classic as in the stuff from the 60s that my dad showed me, classic. The classic stuff I grew up with, well, the classic stuff, that I grew, in terms of the classic shows from the 80s and 90s that I watched, for me, actually, I don't know if all of these are 80s and 90s, or if some of these are early 2000s. All I knew is that they were before me. But, yeah, I knew about, yeah, all I know is, yeah, I watched Pokemon, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh!, I watched Beyblade. I'm almost certain that the version of Beyblade I watched was from the 2000s. Yeah, yeah, I see that. No idea how I was supposed, I intended to respond to that. But, yeah, yeah, so, when yeah, I really liked, but, yeah, so, like, my space of stuff I grew up with as a kid can basically be divided into 3 categories. There was the stuff that my dad grew up with that he showed me, so this is like, specifically the theme songs of those classic, 1960s Marvel cartoons that I don't know if anyone other than me and the NerdSync fandom is aware of. Other than me, my parents, and the NerdSync fandom is aware of. Oh, crap. Yeah, so specifically the theme songs of those Marvel superheroes cartoons, from the 60s, and Yogi Bear and Speed Racer. Then you have your stuff from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, your Pokemon, your Yu-Gi-Oh!, and your Beyblade, that those were actually the last category I found. And then you have your stuff from your late 2000s, early 2010s, which is the stuff actively made for my age group. So, like, your Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, when I was really little, and your Dorothy Explorer, I always prefer Diego. Yeah, yeah, and then my slightly older kid versions of that, which I was actually watching at the same time, Yeah, sorry, so, I'm not, that pause was because I saw that one of your messages had been held for review, I think because you said fuck. For the record, I do not care in the slightest. However, YouTube does hold potentially inappropriate comments for me to review, and that includes generally anything with cursing in it. And those messages don't show up on my computer screen because I'm not signed in. I only see them on my phone. That message, now that fucking show drags enough. But yeah, so as I was saying, the stuff that I grew up with, the shows that I grew up with as a kid, actually, no, just talking about actual TV shows is way too limited, so they can be brought into 4 categories. 60s cartoons that my dad grew up with, 60s cartoons my dad grew up with, yeah, 60s cartoons my dad grew up with, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s cartoons that you and people in your demographic largely grew up with. Stuff like your Pokemon, your Yu-Gi-Oh!, the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, so on and so forth. Oh, Sonic Sat-I-Am, absolutely that one. And actually the one I preferred, Sonic Underground. Don't know why I love Sonic Underground so much. The shows aimed at me, from specifically Curious George and Ben 10, and probably the one I spent the most time watching, actually. Yes! Honestly, that show I really want to go back to, because I have always loved Sonic the Hedgehog, like, more than any reasonable human being reasonably should. Sonic Sat-I-Am, I didn't like as much as I liked Underground, and for some reason I just never watched Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, but, yeah, the fan-made... Ah, cool. But, yeah, so, that being said, I have no idea if Underground is actually any good. I know that I liked it. I also know that there was a lot of other stuff I liked at that age that does not hold up either. I just so happened to really like it anyway. Because when you're a kid, the actual quality of a show frequently has very little to do with whether or not you enjoy it. However, one thing that I really enjoyed then, and still really enjoy now, because it holds up so well, was Ben 10. When Sat-I-Am I was primed for. I was 6 when Sonic came out, and Jaleel White, he'd do Steve Urkel Friday night, and then... yeah, yeah, so... yeah, but those 3 that are like actual TV shows absolutely pale in comparison to the main thing that I was watching at that age. And still the main thing I watch, although very different sectors. YouTube, because YouTube was I don't remember exactly when YouTube came out. You know what? Dead Run. I watched a bit of Ben 10. I was in my 20s, I believe, when it came out, but I found the guy who did the talent. Yeah, yeah, the concept, obviously the concept is sick. The show itself, also sick. I love Ben 10 so much. Also, can't believe I forgot to mention it, Power Rangers. Not only did I love Power Rangers, I do love Power Rangers. I watched the most recent season as soon as it came out on Netflix, Cosmic Fury. Oh, it absolutely is still good. Anytime I need some comfort media, I go back and watch my old favorite, Power Rangers Jungle Fury. That shit was my jam. That shit is my jam. For Sentai. Yeah, I never watched the original Sentai stuff. Took me a while to find out that the original Sentai stuff actually even existed. But, yeah, I absolutely... But the American Power Rangers... God, I watched Power Rangers so much as a kid. Loved that shit. Still love that shit. If you want some stuff about Power Rangers, oh crap, I have like 4, I think, Power Rangers related videos on my channel currently. Reset. I'm not bothered. Yeah, but I watched the original 90s run of Power Rangers, but wow. Yeah, yeah. I will be honest, I have never, yeah, this is just both a generational thing and just a thing with what I'm into versus what other people are into. It is very, very rare that I will find someone my age who likes the same stuff that I like. Because, like, just because, like, I tend to get very obsessed about my interests, and I will only have a very few at a time, and they don't tend to always be, like, the most, like, mainstream interests. That's a good thing. I assume you say that in relation to, yeah. Yeah, I've always been one of those who doesn't trust the mainstream. It's not so much that, like, I don't trust the mainstream, as it is just, my interests aren't informed by the mainstream. And frequently, that just means, it's not that I don't trust the mainstream so much as it is just the mainstream. Frequently, the mainstream doesn't appeal to me as much. Like, people talk about Fortnite. I couldn't care less about Fortnite. I will be perfectly happy over here playing my Marios and my Pokemons and my Zeldas, and not giving 2 shits about what other people like. As I've gotten older, I try to be more open and balanced, but yeah, it's good. Yeah. But because of that, also a lot of the stuff I'm into is just, like, it was mainstream 30 years ago. From... yeah, like, it's not that I'm opposed to the mainstream, as it is that I'm willing to look at stuff outside the mainstream, or stuff that, like I said, used to be in the mainstream but isn't anymore. It's good that thanks. But yeah, like like if something's popular, frequently it's popular for a reason. Like from one thing that's popular, well, one artist that's popular. Be back in a couple minutes. Cool. Yeah, one artist that's popular now, and I recently got into is Taylor Swift. I was initially against listening to Taylor Swift, partially because the few songs of hers that I had heard, Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Bad Blood, and Trouble When You Walked In, I didn't particularly care for, because pop still isn't super my thing, very much wasn't my thing then, and also just because she was really popular, and I was, like, trying to be countercultural, kind of failing, but, like, I was trying to be super edgy, basically. So, no. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to be super edgy, so I was like, ooh, she's popular, I'm not gonna get into her stuff. Then recently, I was just like, okay, so this person that I know has been talking about Taylor Swift so much. So I'm just like, at this point, I've got to at least check out some of her music, and now, oh crap. And now, not only is Taylor Swift my most listened, the artist I listened to the most in 2023, not only are 3 of my top 5 albums Taylor Swift albums, but according to YouTube Music, I am in the top 0.4% of Taylor Swift listeners. Because guess what? Her stuff's popular? Her stuff's popular for a reason. It's good. So, all that to say, when stuff is popular, frequently it's popular because it's good. However, that doesn't mean everything popular is good, nor does it mean everything good is popular. Far from it for either of those. So, like, it's worth it to check out things that are popular, if you think you'd like them. Don't just be like, oh, it's popular, so I'm not gonna get into it. But but it's good to be open to checking out things that aren't as popular, because who knows, you might find something that you really enjoy. And like I said, a lot of the stuff that I like isn't super mainstream, not because I'm like, oh, I like stuff because it's not mainstream, but because I'm just like, I like what I like. I'm back. Shit. I know there's a Taylor Swift song I like. I had the same experience. Never paid her any mind. Usually just didn't check out. Yeah, her music. Yeah, her music is really good. I didn't check out most of her stuff because I wasn't super interested. And then I did check out her stuff, and then yeah, I did check out her stuff, and I was like, oh wait, this is really good, actually. Back in '97, I had this friend Matt who loved South Park before it blew up. When it was the mainstream, found out what it was he hated only because. Yeah, like, don't be afraid to check out things. Don't be like Matt, and don't be like me in elementary and middle school. Don't hate on stuff just because it's popular, but also don't just follow trends and decide, oh, it's what's popular, so it's what I like. If something's popular but you don't like it, you don't have to pretend that you like it. You can just, when something's popular and you don't like it, if something's popular but you don't like it, you can just not like it. And if something's popular and you do like it, you can just like it. You don't have to, like, feel bad about it either. You don't have to feel bad either way. Yeah, that's what. Okay, yeah, thank you for continuing to say that I'm very intelligent. Okay, now I'm at a moment where I don't have to deal with Goombas. This is true. This is proof of your intelligence. You can think outside the crowd. The vast majority of people are, if average intelligence and having less cognitive function than the rarer intellect, they survive with numbers and mob mentality. Yeah, it's like, so, that's like, if an opinion is mainstream, that doesn't mean I'm necessarily not gonna have it, but it also doesn't mean I necessarily am gonna have it. And to that end, a lot of the people, it's very rare that I find people just out in the wild who have many of the same interests as me. That's why my friend Jax and I get along so well. If you want to know what Jax is like, check out any of the videos in my Pigeon Friends Talk About Stuff playlist. Because Jax and I are just generally, our brains work in much the same way, and to that end, we also have a lot of, we have a lot of shared interests. Yeah. They're not a gamer, but, other than that, we both really like Percy Jackson. It takes one to know one, allegedly, yeah, IQ very much is an outdated thing. I vaguely recall taking an IQ test and seeing that apparently my IQ was above average, but again, IQ tests are not an accurate measure of intelligence. They are an accurate measure of your ability to take tests and know certain information, and I am just a good test taker. That is a skill that I am very lucky to have. It has allowed me to do pretty well in school, but I know plenty of people who are quite intelligent don't do well in school just because the school environment doesn't work for them. They're unreliable and more based on elitism. Yeah, I think... Yeah. Actually, I'd say something not too dissimilar about, like, the Myers-Briggs personality test. Like, it's not... it's not gonna be like, oh, this is exactly who you are and it will never change. But the Myers-Briggs test... Ah, shit. Huh, didn't know that was there. But the Myers-Briggs test is a... the Myers-Briggs test can be a very good... the Myers-Briggs test can definitely tell you about what you're like right now, but it doesn't, but it can't tell you, it's not gonna be like, this is who you are now and always, but it's like, this is who you are right now, and, more importantly, these are the things that knowing about yourself will likely help you succeed going forward, because this seems to be how your brain is working at the moment. You're precisely right. The education, the education system was designed not even just for neurotypical people, like for one specific type of neurotypical people. This is really annoying. There we go. Took me a while. Yeah, okay. Yeah, those breaks are the worst. I agree with you with Myers-Briggs, much like I don't know what that is. Okay. I agree with you on the Myers-Briggs, much like the KHQ-12 questionnaire it gives a medical assistant. It was a way to rate current depression levels while also monitoring them over a 2-week period. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, the Myers-Briggs is good for telling you about what you're like now, but I've taken the Myers-Briggs test probably 4 times in my life, and 2 of those times, the first time and the most recent time, I've gotten INTJ, but in between, that wasn't the case. I shifted in a few places just because what I was doing changed, and so how my brain needed to be able to operate changed a little bit. That's based on the 1800s when they were still forcing. Yeah, in the 90s I had 70s textbooks. Yeah, people will always change. Like I was telling you about my friend Jax earlier. And with the Taylor Swift thing, I mentioned that her album 1989 is like the most pop of all her albums, and so it was the one that it took me the longest time to get into, but when the Taylor's version came out, I listened to it, and I just texted Jax. So, I really like 1989 now. The version of me from 5 years ago just died inside when I said that. And, or not even 5 years ago. The version of me from 2 years ago just died inside when I said that. And Jax's response was like, it's said in a joking way, because most of what they say in a joking way. But it, okay. 89 was a good year. I got... yeah. 89 was also the year that Taylor Swift was born, which is why she called her 5th album 1989. But, yeah, when 1989 Taylor's version came out, I listened to it, and I actually really liked it, and when I told Jax about that, his response was, which means that you're always growing and changing as a person. Yay! I was just like, and I was just like, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, so I did accidentally just hide your message by accident. Sorry about that, Ian. Oh, wow. I forgot this game has a run button. I fully forgot that was possible. Yeah, I just fully forgot the game had a run button. Yeah, really, any Mario game? I normally do. It's been a while since I played any 2D Mario, so I had just forgotten that's the thing that I had access to. And also, when I see YouTube videos about Mario and stuff, I watch at double speed anyway. So I'm used to everything that I see in the actual game taking significantly longer. Take my time, but that being said, I mean, the approach I'm going through right now is the exact same approach as what led to the creation of Sonic the Hedgehog in general. The idea that, you end up being able to play the game out really quickly as you as you go through, because each level you want to get through the early levels quickly so that you can get back to the actually interesting part. Yeah, that sounds right. I used to know the names of all the people in charge of all the big franchises I like. I do not anymore. All I really remember is that, Miyamoto and Aonuma are the Nintendo guys. Notch and Jab are the Minecraft guys, and I don't even remember the Pokemon guys' names off the top of my head anymore. But yeah, I believe Yuji Naka is the lead Sonic guy. Okay. Blue streak speeds by Sonic the Hedgehog. Too fast for the naked eye. It's snowing outside. Awesome. We were supposed to have snow today. Our weather apps told us that it was snowing today. It wasn't. It was very much not snowing today. At all. We got a little bit of cold rain near the end, but that was it. And thank you so much for showing up in chat today. Like, I've been streaming for a while, both on this channel and on an old channel. You are the most intelligent chatter I have ever had. Weather reporting systems. Yeah, the weather systems are never, your weather app is never gonna be all that accurate or anything. And Sonic is also the reason that I eat chili dogs, and I really like chili dogs because of him. If you couldn't tell, Sonic is definitely one of my special interests. Yeah. You're welcome. I really appreciate getting the chance to talk to you. Like, I've had plenty of fun interactions with yeah, I've had plenty of fun interactions with chatters. Like, jokes about Big Chungus, people the time on my old channel where we kept making exaggerated fake Sun Tzu quotes to the point that my father quite literally brought in his copy of The Art of War and handed it to me and said, just in case you need it. An episode of Sad AM is what introduced me to we told our parents we wanted them for dinner, and the rest. Yeah. Yeah, the first time I tried a chili dog, the first time I tried a chili dog, was just in the past 2 or 3 years since the pandemic hit. Because since the pandemic hit, my parents, because of where they work, weren't able to work from home, which meant that even during the height of the pandemic, I was at home while they weren't for quite a while. It was the first time where I was like regularly spending long stretches of time home alone. We had some hot dogs that we weren't gonna do anything with because neither of my parents could eat them. Well, no, but because neither of my parents could eat the buns for them, and my dad was trying to lay off them. And we always keep a few cans of chili around. we always can keep a few cans of chili around the house with us, so I just threw a can of chili in the microwave, heated up, some hot dogs on the George Foreman grill, and then I had a chili dog. I really liked it, and now I have, and now I still really like having chili dogs. Ah, shit. Like, at this point, I'm not even bothering, yeah, I'm not even bothering, the best way is with onion, grated cheddar, bacon bits, and a splash of your favorite hot sauce. Yeah, I do not think about it that hard. I heat up the hot dog, put it on a bun, I microwave some chili, and I put the chili on the hot dog, and that's that. And hot sauce would definitely be a no for me. I have the really annoying combination of my mom's love of Southern cooking, she was raised in Texas, but my dad's incredibly Finnish taste buds. It's a running joke that my great-grandpa on his side of the family, he refused to eat anything that he believed was cooked in the same kitchen as an onion. His wife was from Mexico. That woman put up with so much. Plus, being a guy who frequented New York, I always loved hot dogs. I visited Chicago like 3 years ago and fell. And yeah, from low spice tolerance, I totally believe that that would be genetic. Which makes sense. Picky eating evolved out of not wanting to yeah. I'm not a picky eater in the slightest. There are just like 5 things that I cannot tolerate. I have a very low spice tolerance. I have a non-existent mint tolerance. No, I have a low spice tolerance. I have no mint tolerance. Cannot stand the stuff. I don't like bananas because I hate the texture. It's a good thing to have. What's a good thing to have? Low spice tolerance? Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to make sense of what you're saying while also trying to play the video game. Yeah. I try to be, I try to be conscious of what I'm eating. Like, generally, if I'm home alone and just need to make something for dinner, unless I'm like uh, uh, no. Like, I'm not a picky eater. I'll eat just about anything most of the time, unless, like I said, it's spicy, minty, or a banana. But, like, well, I'm not gonna, like, just not eat something that I really like. For instance, chili dogs. I'm not gonna just not eat chili dogs, even though I know they are unhealthy. But, like, if I'm home alone and I'm in charge of making my own food and I'm not super hungry, generally I'll make a salad. And, like, in my lunches at school, I can't have salads for lunch because I pack my lunches, and carrying around a salad with me in a backpack all day would not be fun. But I do keep, no. But I do keep, but I do keep, I get really picky with condiments, like, get really picky with condiments and salad. Like, I have to have condiments light and a lot of dressings. But yeah, so, but, yeah, I'm, not very picky, but, yeah, well, like, I try to, make sure that I'm eating fairly healthy. Like, my lunch is usually a sandwich with some ham, some cheese, and some spinach. But yeah, I should. No, that is completely fine. Honestly, like, even though I am obviously struggling more than I probably otherwise would, I'm also having a much more enjoyable time with this than I otherwise would. Yeah, it is good. And then, so, so so what I have with me, and I never eat all of this, but what I have with me is that sandwich, 2 apples, and a combination of a combination of and a combination of goldfish, dried cranberries, and mixed nuts. I know, obviously, that's not the healthiest, the goldfish, also, obviously, but it's but those things together are a really good combination to keep me satisfied. And, you know, they taste good. Because, the protein gives me a little pick-me-up, and the fiber, I make sure that there's a ton of fiber in my lunches, so it'll keep me satisfied for a while. But yeah, so yeah, you generally like dried cranberries. Yeah, like I said, obviously there are healthier snack alternatives out there, but I really like having something that has that perfect combination of salty and sweet. I like the exact amount of crunch that goldfish have, and I And putting in the mixed nuts gives it significantly more protein and fiber, so it's gonna hold you over for a lot longer. You can only stay for a bit. Okay, Goober, it's already after 9 o'clock it's already almost 9:15 my time. I will likely not continue streaming for all that much longer, just being real. I'm starting to get kind of a sore throat from talking for so long. So I'm starting to get a sore throat from talking so long. Okay, that's that. Okay. So, this run, I'm just gonna do. I'm not going to like try and make sure that this is like a perfect run like I have been. But this run, this run, until I run out of lives, this is going to be, this is gonna be my last run. So, there we go, 1-1, 1-1 is obviously very, very easy, that's the point. Bella Sue, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Ultra Friends. I hope you stick around. Which reminds me, Evan, are you subscribed? Not Evan, Ian. I don't know why I said Evan. Yeah. Can you tell I'm getting tired? I don't know what gave it away. Oh, wow, that was a very close save. It's all good, I get caught. Huh. Yeah, you just subscribed. Awesome. I can tell you have your subscriptions hidden in your YouTube settings, but because otherwise I would have just gotten the notification on the screen. It just randomly suggested you this. Well, I'm glad you clicked on it. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a lot of fun. Like, I want to try and get through this kind of quickly, but at the same time, I want to play it safe with these slippery movements. I was in the middle of making a big 80s and 90s playlist also. I mean, that's totally fair. Castle 1, although unfortunately, our princess is in another. But Mario doesn't know that at this point. I do. Yes, Spoopy Bowser intensifies. Okay. well, I lost the power-up, but I got through, and I still have 3 lives. So, in that case, we're just going to keep doing this. Save the nation. I guess you could call it that. And that weird NES flickering effect. Like, I get why it happens. Yeah, I get why the flickering happens. Console limitations. I get why the flickering happens and all that. Console limitations of the time, but it's still just kind of weird. Like, to me. Okay, well, I still have 2 lives left. I always forget that Mario Bros. 1 has checkpoints, because unlike all later Mario games, other than possibly Lost Levels, I believe, they're not shown by anything. I was intimidated. The original instruction booklet told me Koopa uses magic to turn the toads into an yeah. But, yeah. Turned the toads into inanimate objects like stones and bricks, which Mario destroys on a regular basis. Did they really not realize what they were doing with that? Like, obviously everyone jokes about the old game theory Mario was mental, and also Mario was a communist. But Mario... Oh... Yes! Mario is Omni-Man! Alright. Okay. Now, let's switch back to just chatting. Wow, my face is big. Okay. Ian, thank you so much for tuning in to so much of the stream. This has been a ton of fun. I really hope you keep coming back to future streams, because because chatting with you has been a blast. I will no stream tomorrow, because God, I have so much homework. But yes, stream. Yeah, awesome. I can't wait to see you again. Words. Yeah, no stream tomorrow because I have a lot of homework. Then Monday, then Sunday then Sunday I'll be streaming Minecraft, and then Monday I'll be back in Mario Bros. 1. So, until next time, like I said, this has been a load of fun. But, until next time, stay ultra, peace out.